I didn't, like, I may be part of the minority. I didn't hate the starting strokes. I thought that the player that played the best, during the course of the season should have had an advantage coming in here. But the majority of people just didn't like the starting strokes. They didn't, whether it were players or fans. I was on the pack when we were trying to go through that, and really it was just a way to try to simplify the advantage that the top players were going to get over the course of the week, instead of Steve Sands doing calculations on a whiteboard. So, and then but you could also argue that if it was starting strokes this week, Scotty with a 2-shot lead, it probably isn't enough considering what he's done this year and the lead that he has in the FedEx Cup going into this week. So, and look, there was a lot of other stuff on the table. Match play was on the table, and that got canned for this year. That might be brought back up in the conversation going into next year or the year after. I think it's just hard for the players to reconcile that we play stroke play for every week of the year, but then the season-ending tournament is going to be decided by match play. I think it was just hard for the players to get their heads around that. So I don't know. Maybe that'll be on the table again. Who knows? But look, it's a 72-hole stroke play event, and that's what we play week in and week out, and that's what's going to determine the winner. So I don't know if it's the best format, but it's the one that we have for this week.